Go, and we're streaming, guys. Hey everyone. Yeah, no one's here yet because completely random, unannounced stream. But it should be quite.
Always unannounced.
Well, it's not always unannounced. Occasionally there's a plan.
You've never scheduled a stream on this channel.
I think I have. I think
Well,
no, even the Robert Hocker we didn't schedule, did we?
Because you fucked it up.
What do you mean? Because I fucked it up?
Because you were supposed to schedule it, then you forgot, then you couldn't find the right button.
I was probably drunk. Well, we've got Jay with us now anyway. Hey, Jay. Anyway, so, guys, I want to... well, he's already rudely introduced himself, so, of course, I've got Andy here. And also, I've got Isaiah with us.
Hello, everybody. My name's Isaiah.
Yes.
And I think today we're just going to be talking about everything. Just TCAP, ongoings.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me on, guys.
Oh, no worries.
Yeah, it's all right. Well, you weren't paying us, so...
But,
I'm kind of just taking the piss out of myself there, guys. I'm not serious.
Isaiah's promised us...
He's paid us, though.
He's promised us a pair of his gym shorts each if he could come on the stream.
I thought he was paying us in pick and mix.
No, Andy, that's what you pay. That's what you pay the children in.
Well, yeah.
Well, yeah. Anyway, so, well, I guess we've got quite a lot. So, have you guys seen the very latest lawn calls? Should we just get deep in there, like fisting the vicar's
Why
daughter?
not? Let's jump deep into the bumhole that is Lorne Armstrong.
His literal arsehole.
His literal arsehole.
So,
Who wants to start?
well, I'm so conflicted, as always, with these calls, because once again, and I've listened to them, and you wouldn't believe it, because I've literally, like, they only were uploaded yesterday or the day before. I've listened to them all twice. And even the second time, I'm still hearing and noticing things and analysing more things that I didn't the first time round. But there's some issues I'm quite conflicted with about it. But there are also some absolute moments of brilliance.
Yeah, we're sort of torn, aren't we? I mean, we kind of don't agree with it, but at the same time, it provides us with entertainment. And I know I'm an hypocrite before people point it out. But it's just so alluring, isn't it? Even though I know I shouldn't be listening. I mean, what do you think, Isaiah?
Oh, well, we're all lawnaholics. We need that bit of lawn in our life. And look, I'll be halfway through the week just craving a new lawn call. But I've been looking at it objectively, and, like, in my opinion, I kind of enjoy the calls. I'll listen to a call. I'll say to myself, look, I like this part. This part might be a bit too far, but overall, I kind of do enjoy the calls. But if I step back, like, I'm man enough to say this, but objectively, I think it is kind of, pushing it a bit. But I can't really say that. I'm not one to tell someone to stop because I'd be a bit of a hypocrite.
Before we get into, because there are a lot of negatives, and I don't think it's wrong. I think everyone is feeling a little bit, as Andy mentioned in his video earlier, the grey area. Even though he then had to relate...
You mean the Grey Jedis?
Yeah, then he had to relate it to Star Wars. I'm going to order you a lightsaber dildo, Andy.
Oh, would you?
Of course. That's Christmas sorted. Right.
Mace Windu's.
Deal.
I don't know if they make that, but... no, but let's have a chat about our favourite parts from the call, because there's one bit I heard today, and it's fucking brilliant. And I probably am going to misquote it terribly. And I don't... The thing is, as well, and I hate to sound mean or anything, but the character of Ramona has lost a... I don't know if she meant to do this, but it was really back to form for Ramona when she went... Lord, I'd have more respect for you if you just went, yeah, I went to fuck a 13-year-old. Yeah, I don't care what people think of me. And if you meet new people, you should just go, yeah, I did. I wanted to put my boner in a 13-year-old. And if you can't appreciate that, fuck off. And I was like, oh, yeah. It's such odd word. Yeah. I don't think, like, if you listen to it, it's not the exact quote, but she definitely said, right after saying he wanted to put his boner in a 13-year-old, that he should tell people if they don't appreciate that, they should fuck off.
Yeah, no, it was very intriguing.
It seems to me that they're just pushing it as far as they possibly can.
Well, that for me, okay, and I think, well, I always appreciate good comedy. If you can say something that funny, it kind of actually, to an extent, almost makes the trolling worthwhile. But on the flip side, that in the hours that we heard, there was so much that I was a bit uncomfortable with. But before we get into that, like, are there any positives like you guys enjoyed from the calls?
I like the fact that Lorne got some shit in his mouth.
That was
got some what, sorry?
Shit in his mouth.
He got some shit in his mouth.
I don't think I've heard this, you know. Just remind me which one you're referring to.
We're referring to Ramona and Ember. Nearly did the mini syllables there. Ember. Speaking to Lorne, where they're sort of trying to break up, but he's sort of trying to stop it from happening, but it's futile.
Right. Yeah, I must have missed those bits. I don't think I was listening properly, really. There's
3 separate videos.
Yeah, I've not got through them.
It's on Ember's Ember Inferno channel. It's not on Cod's Angel.
That's
and
it's back on High Priestess.
Throw that out there. That's been taken down now.
Oh, right.
Well, I think within the last few hours, the Cod's Angels channel.
Mm.
Really?
Mm.
But I think no matter what, like, unless someone really crosses a line, like you talk about, like something like Sam Pepper's video where he killed the person's mate.
I think it's because of the last video that went up. Did you hear about?
I don't see why anyone would report a video unless someone's done something. I mean, trolling Lorne, we've got our issues with it, but you're not going to report someone's channel for it, are you?
No, but I think it's because of this is my opinion, and I don't know whether it's true or not. The last video, I think, on that channel was about Lorne suggesting that he was into diapers and sex.
No, that's on the High Priestess Ember. That's the one we're talking about. One of the 3.
Oh. Right. Okay. I listened to that one. It was only 30 minutes.
Mm. Yeah. Again, a lot of that I felt he was manipulated into saying those things.
I didn't really. I'll just say I didn't like that at all. I don't think it was perceived. He was sort of pressured into saying it. They wanted him to say something ridiculous.
Yeah.
And he kind of said it. I don't think he said it the way that the portraying he said it.
No, that I absolutely thought that as well. And this might be quite controversial, but I suppose with the summit coming up on Saturday, it's kind of worth saying these things, and hopefully I'll remember them. But I felt like the thing he was saying about, I mean, it's weird anyone that's into diapers, but I didn't feel that he brought the subject up. And when he did, he was trying to be as... It's not a word you associate with Lorne much, but, like, sweet about it, like saying, I'll change your diapers. And they were like, no, Lorne, but you want to fuck her in diapers, don't you? And he's like, I've got some real conflicting issues with it, to be honest.
I totally agree, Adam. It wasn't... It's like the title of the video. I don't want to be too critical of Ember because she's done nothing but be nice to me.
Yeah, no, I don't think...
I don't have like the title of the video saying... Well, unless it was a bit tongue-in-cheek. Because we can't take it too seriously. It's just like...
No, but I think if you then...
It seems that we're just throwing anything we can at Lorne to get the worst out of him. He didn't make any sexual references towards anybody in diapers, in my opinion. And also, I found out, I think it was in the same video, that we were like disgusted that Lorne sent Ramona pictures of his shit. Ramona asked for it.
Yeah, to compare it to vegan shit, apparently.
Yeah, I believed Lorne when he was saying that because his brain wouldn't have come up with that so quickly, such a great excuse.
Yeah.
And it's like, the way she told it originally was like, did you know what Lorne did? He sent me pictures of his shit. Well, I'm like, you fucking asked for it. What? He's gonna do it, isn't it?
Yeah, like, I love you. Here's a picture of my shit. But no, he is.
I would argue that any normal guy would just say, "Go and fuck yourself." But we're not talking about a normal guy, are we?
No, absolutely not. No, I mean, if we're getting into the whole, I didn't want to get into it so quickly. I was trying to keep us a little bit more positive. But the thing is, while I'm listening to the calls, I'm like, this is fucking hilarious. And then afterwards, it starts to hit me like the moral implications and looking at the bigger picture. Like, the main issue I have, like, is that what is going to be the end result of this? And why keep trolling a man that he's got nothing to live for anyway? Like, what happens when he realises this fucking pretend person? And yeah, you can say, okay, it's his own fault for being stupid. And I know some people have issues with using this word, but it wasn't my quote, but one of our good friends said it to us originally. But I will take ownership because... But it's a bit like picking on the retarded kid. You're dangling the one carrot he wants in front of him, the one thing he thinks he needs to be graphic pussy, which in Lorne's head equals love. And then at some point you're going to have to take it away. They can't keep... what happens the longer they leave it? Is he a time bomb? Just waiting, like... Who says then he doesn't go out and fucking grab a girl on the street and do something to her?
I totally agree, Adam. Totally.
Yeah, with that, Adam, look, I'm starting to kind of see maybe what they're trying to do. They're trying to gradually let him go, and they're trying to make him choose girls around him in Maine. This is what I'm hoping they're trying to do. Because, Ramona's doing the 3-month break.
Yeah.
And, yeah, that's what I think she's trying to do. She's trying to make him hopefully say, I can't do this anymore, get out of the relationship, or maybe just find... Because he's dated a new girl from a supermarket or something nearby. Did you hear that?
Yeah, I heard that. Isn't that a bit hard to believe? Is it not just something he's come up with, though?
I don't know. It's probably like some old one-eyed buck-toothed lady.
Plastic well, this way, it's not going to be super level, is it?
No. But I think maybe, to those kind of ladies, Lorne might still have a bit of razzle-dazzle about him. The thing is, if he didn't have some kind of weird thing, why are people spending 9 months building up to a troll on him when they don't have any obvious end game? Or maybe there is an end game and we're not aware of it. I just hope it's a valiant one.
Well, like as I just said, right, he believes that they're trying to push him onto someone else. But according to Ramona, the reason that they were doing it was to try and stop him to get with other women and protect other people. So I don't understand.
Yeah, it's how would that happen? Like, how is this overall going to help him? Like, because at some point they're going to get bored.
Oh, sorry about that, Queen Bee.
It's not like they're going to stick with him. Yeah, and Chrissy's right. Lorne is worse than retarded. But yeah, what are they going to do? Stick with him until he turns his life around? I just don't see the point in this. He's a lost cause. To me, and the best thing probably to do would be, well, fuck. I sound like I might be sympathising now, though, which is wrong, because at the same time I fucking wait on the edge of my seat for these calls. Like, if I see a live stream, especially because there was one, like, when I woke up, I think on a Saturday or a Sunday morning, I was like, oh, awesome, I can wake up, have a smoke, and listen to Lorne get trolled the fuck out of.
I think we're both guilty of that, aren't we, Adam? We in numerous times we've said how we don't agree with it, but yeah, we're probably the first ones to fucking listen to them.
Yeah, we are, but we don't agree with what they're doing. But they have provided us with hours of entertainment.
I know, and that's going to make for an interesting debate. And for anybody that's listening who cares, I genuinely can't do the debate on Saturday. Sam Pendleton invited me. My place was there. which is bizarre because I was on the Leave Lorne Alone panel, which, just considering the content of my channel, I was going to attend a debate to stick up for Lorne Armstrong. But he wasn't really sticking up for him as a person.
It's trying to see the wrong side of this.
It's basically a search for the truth. Is the way I like putting it. What is right? What is wrong? What is truth? What is not? What is lies? It's as simple as that, and that's what I try and do with my channel. I don't take anybody's side. I try and look at things as objectively as possible. And I was going to do that, but my good friend Adam was very kindly agreed to get called a pedo sympathiser on my behalf. Now,
Brilliant.
I'm well aware that people will think that I'm
pussying out.
running away. Yeah, running away. However, there are people within the community that are friends with me on Facebook, and they will see pictures from my holiday that I'm going on.
I think the lady doth protest too much. Like, I'm fucking going. They know I'm Team Burkett. That sounds gay. We're not calling it that.
I know. I must admit, it doesn't usually bother me what people think in this so-called community, but it does piss me off that people may think that I'm running away scared because it's my mate Stag Do Part 2 in Cyprus, and I'm not fucking. Can you imagine me saying,
"Oh, It's gonna be a discussion from both sides." We chatted to Sam, and it's both. I think as well. I'd like to mention, like, while we're talking, like Sam's bit as the therapist.
I agree.
Was probably the pinnacle of Lorne trolling in that he finally tried to talk some sense into him and said what that to me was almost the same. I might be pushing the boat out a bit here, but the same masterpiece as the very first Lorne and Ramona call. Those two calls were brilliant. If it had just been that, I think it'd be a very different story. But those were two calls, both with people trying to make him face the truth. There's a lot of bollocks with just trying to make him look like a cunt now. Sorry.
I think that what's happened with this diaper thing, that's the classic example, isn't it?
There was a part, and I want to know what both of you guys think about this, but it made me a bit uncomfortable, where Lorne, maybe in the whole of all of this calls and the whole of Lorneography from its inception, he's showed the tiniest first ever part of personal growth. Maybe I'm building this up a bit too much to fight my case too much, but he said, "I just want her to be happy," and Ember said, make her jealous. That'll show her that you really like her," and that made me really uncomfortable.
Why?
Because the guy, maybe finally there was a slight breakthrough in him realising not being a massive cunt, and it was like, no, do one of the worst possible human traits ever.
Yeah, no, I kind of agree with you there, Adam. It was kind of just like whispering in his ear, trying to push the plot forward. And another thing that I noticed was, for the first time ever, he's mentioned killing himself, and I know he didn't.
Sorry, what was that? When was that, Isaiah? Was that in the latest one?
Yeah, so what he said was they were talking about the therapist having sex with Ramona, and Lorne says it'll kill him. He doesn't necessarily mean he's going to take his life, but he's saying it's going to deeply cause him a lot of pain.
Yeah, I don't think it was meant in any way as kind of self-harm, though, was it?
Nah, but it was just.
I get your point, though. I think sorry for rabbiting on it. I think, do you mean that that's the first time he's kind of said it's likely to give him kind of a big psychological breakdown?
Yeah, definitely. Just the fact he said kill too, it's like, this is the guy who's
Can I just say, Nina in the chat there has said he's got what's coming for him. He abused Ramona like hell, and he believes she was real. I mean, we've all heard the things that the way he was, he was abusive, wasn't he? He was drunk and he was calling her a piece of shit and stuff like that. I have heard worse, not sticking up for him, but he's never... What, do you get where I'm coming from, guys? It's like he called her a piece of shit and a whore and all that, but Lorne had every button pressed that he could possibly have, to the point where he didn't have any release, did he?
He's just so emotionally immature that it's not right what he says, but he's never learned the difference between right and wrong. I don't think he really can. Just to keep throwing more catfish at him, he's not going to learn. Because at the end of this, he's still going to be able to go back and play the victim card. Because once
in other words, this is the whole point of why I wanted to join that ethical debate, because I don't see what good, apart from providing us with entertainment, which there is a fucking fair point for, I don't see what good overall this is going to do. It's not going to make Lorne into a better person, and it isn't going to protect people.
Whatever the outcome, it's not, it's not like there can actually be a happy ending. Like, you can go, oh, Lorne's a better man, he realised what he did wrong, he's not going to try and fuck kids, and he's going to treat women right. Even if we got him to that point, which would be quite an achievement, but then you turn around and say, oh, but this was a whole catfish to make you learn, he's just going to fly off, he's just going to get even more fucked up than he is, surely.
I think the whole point... Sorry, mate, go on.
Oh, no, all I want to say was, can they not just push it back like 2 weeks, the debate? I mean, it's not like it's the Super Bowl or anything. It's just it's not set in stone, is it? Or is it just already planned?
But push it back for what reason?
To get you in, because you'd be one of the main people pushing on the opposite side of what they are.
I've not actually... I didn't suggest that to Sam. I just said, can Adam take my place? I thought that because of Sam's organising it, I mean, he never, I didn't want to ask him to do that, and he didn't suggest it. So I wouldn't be so vain to say, you should cancel it until I can take part, because I'm more than confident in Adam's ability to put a good point forward. And I think that me and him are pretty much on the same page exactly where it comes to where we think it's right and wrong.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, don't worry. You've got
I think you'd actually do a better job than me anyway, to be fair. So and I'm certainly not going to do it when I'm pissed, because at 12:30 in Cyprus on Saturday night, I'm going to be a fucking arsehole.
Yeah. Well, it's
like you usually are on a Sunday night.
Shut up. That's every fucking night.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Right.
But yeah, sort of in response to what you're saying, Nina. Yeah, you are wrong. No, you are right. He is very abusive. The way he speaks to Ramona, the way he speaks to his mum concerns me more than the way he speaks to Ramona.
But his mum was brilliant on that call with the therapist.
Oh yeah, she was fantastic. But it was the way that in the original call that we got, that was 3.5 hours long, that we must have listened to fucking about 8 times a piece.
Oh,
there's so many comedy gold moments in that. It's fucking unbelievable. But just the way that, he's shouting at her and swearing at her and slagging off his siblings to his own mum. It's just, Roy's a piece of... can't remember the name of the brother or sister. She's a piece of shit. And it was like pretty bad to listen to, really.
Ralph and Laurie.
Yeah, that's exactly right. You can remember. Yeah, but it wasn't... That disturbed me more than the way that he talks to Ramona.
Yeah, but his mum in the last thing, when Ramona really pushed it, I thought using it, I don't know, maybe this is me just being a bit of a old lady, but...
Old lady.
But when she said the C word, why am I saying the C word? I use it all the time, but when she said cunt to his mum, I was like, you can't say that in front of a 77-year-old woman.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Even if you're saying it in the context of my son said this to me, you don't say that word.
Yeah. When I believe there's been people running around the forums or whatever, which I don't pay any attention to, calling me and you, Adam, pedo sympathisers.
Oh, fuck them.
Which is, in my opinion, that's just a small-minded person's way of not being able to look at anything objectively. There's probably the same people who look at people like Lorne and just uses it as an excuse to throw their anger in that direction. Just like these some of these online vigilante groups that, you know, the worst one that me and you did a video about, Adam, I think it was, and he was just a vile person. He wasn't doing it because he thought it was the right thing to do. He was doing it because it's an opportunity for him to go up in people's faces and hit people and just be a cunt, basically.
Yeah.
And some of these people are going, oh, you pedo sympathisers. Well,
No.
I have a channel set up to fucking demean these people. So how could I possibly be in that category? I mean, I shouldn't.
My main issue with the vigilantes is the cases that they fuck up. Because the best place, the place I want to see, and I know maybe mine means like the way I see it, is not what they want to see. People want to have like a flash mob mentality and they want to run and knock doors down and kill people. I want to see these people locked up and put behind bars, which the system is set up to do. But then you kind of, to get a little bit political, you kind of fucked at times because you make a report about something or someone and then nothing happens of it. So to an extent you can see why there's a flashback. And police forces are under-resourced, so it's a difficult world we live in. However, if you bring it down to just the sphere of like the community we're in and the trolling of one man who didn't get to, but would have fucked a kid, is it right to just use that person because he's the only one that's obtainable?
No, it's not, because we don't know all the facts. And this is one point I'd like to make, which is probably going to be ridiculously controversial. Lorne, people seem to forget this. Lorne has never sexually abused a person, as far as we know. And I believe if he would have done, we would have known about it. Now, that's not to say that he wouldn't have. But let's look at this logically, right? Lorne has never molested anybody. Let's just say that the girl from the photos was at the Sting house and not Casey Moreau. Do we know with 100% certainty that Lorne would have sexually abused that girl?
No.
No, nobody on the planet does. Nobody. However, all the evidence would suggest that there's a fucking high probability, and I personally believe he would have done, if Kayla was the girl in the pictures. And the reason I'm saying that is because it's ridiculous to say it would have been Casey Moreau. It's even more ridiculous to say there'd have been a real person there. But what I'm trying to say is the girl in the pictures is the one he was looking at for months and months. For a month and all that. So I believe he would have been, you know, that's my personal belief. But my point is, you don't know 100%. He may have bottled it. He may have had some kind of realization where he realized what he was doing was wrong. I don't think he would have done.
But we can only ever speculate.
But my point is, you can't say for certain, can you? And that's all I'm saying.
I think that a big problem is he never took any kind of responsibility. He never said. I mean, I didn't agree with it, but I don't know if you saw what's his name, the guy that pulled his shirt up over his face on someone else's channel. And they'd interviewed him, and loads of people were being supportive of him. And I was like, no, he's just a cunt.
That Schumacher fella.
Schumacher, yeah. David Schumacher. And I was like, I watched it, I was like, it's just, but everyone was like, oh yeah, just because he took the slightest bit of responsibility, whereas Lorne never has ever done that. He's always...
But Lorne went a step further. Not only did he not take responsibility, he went out of his way to blame everybody else that was involved within what ended up getting him in prison. So he blamed Perverted Justice, NBC, Chris Hansen, the decoys, the police, the courts, his lawyer, the prosecution, the defence, every single person. It was all their fault. They took advantage of a vulnerable person on his birthday. Then he tried suing them for $80 million. That is why. And he doesn't see it. He probably doesn't even remember. Not only that, we've all had a bit of a read of the lawsuits, and they are comical. It is comedy genius to say that he was manipulated by someone with a female because she used her female powers on him.
Yeah.
I mean, that it makes you when you read the chat log and you realise what he tried to do, any sympathy that you have for him quickly evaporates.
Well, I was reading the chat log, but I quit for a while because it just got too much after a while. I cannot, even if I'm doing a completely surreal voice and trying to make it different, I cannot continue with this. It's so... You just wouldn't talk like that to anyone, except for Lorne.
No, I mean... Yeah, it's. I mean, you've gone over the chat log a lot, haven't you, Zaya, as well? You've done a few videos like me about it, and I mean, what's your interpretation of the whole thing?
Oh well, it's just it's a pretty fucked up situation. The one of the main things about it is it's just so long, and that just reflects Lorne. I mean, he just loves to fucking talk. Who sits on the phone for 6-7 hours just talking? I can't fathom it, to be honest. But I wanted to bring up this other predator, and I think he's extremely underrated, and his chat log isn't looked into. And
underrated.
He also doesn't take. He's underrated because he's worse than Molester Beck, in my opinion.
Really? Oh, okay.
Have you heard of Todd Lewis?
No.
Who's that, mate?
So he's the guy who he actually deals with Casey Moreau, and he's eating a brownie, and he says something along the lines of, "Oh, are you always this polite?" And he's got like a motorbike helmet in his hands.
I can't remember. What's his name again?
At all. Todd Lewis.
Google Todd Lewis. Yeah. He's on all the compilations, and he's the guy, if you remember, he says Casey Moreau's too polite. Anyway,
I'm having a look now, mate.
You can look him up, whenever you want. But so he actually took a girl into the woods, and molested her. And he I don't know if he did time, but he was put on the sex offender registry. And in his chat, he talks about how it's the girl's fault, she shouldn't have told, and he tries to paint her in a negative picture to this new decoy. And in doing that, he manipulates her into thinking that, telling on the predator is the wrong thing to do. And it's a really fucked up chat log, and no one ever talks about the guy. And we're giving Lorne so much crap, and you've got people like this who just never...
They're even worse. You might have fueled a few more videos for me there, pal.
Yeah. This sounds very interesting.
I could talk about one of the things he talks about. It's really fucked up. Like, I don't know if you want it on your channel, though, Adam, so I'd probably have to ask your permission before I say it.
Oh, fuck it. Just go for it.
But he tries to convince the decoy that ejaculate is actually good for the teeth. It whitens the teeth. That's how he tries to get the decoy manipulated to give him a blowjob.
Wow.
Gets pretty fucked up.
But
just the fact he took a girl into the woods.
But Lorne would use that line if he was intelligent enough to say it. If intelligence the right word, if you can rate intelligence by.
So what's this about him taking a girl in the woods, mate?
So if you read also the blurb on Perverted Justice, and I'm pretty sure he talks about to Chris Hansen, he did take a girl into the woods and make her perform oral sex on him, and I think she got a bit frightened and straight away told her parents when he took her home. And he in the chat log he just blames the girl constantly. He says, she betrayed me, and just so you know, that's a bad thing to do. When we meet up, you should not do that. It's just very interesting, and no one ever goes into the guy. And considering
I'm really interested. I'm really anxious to look at that. Mate. Is this chat log still up on Perverted Justice?
Yeah. Yep. Todd Lewis, Lewis.
I'm sorry to interrupt the chat, guys. I just want to address Nina's comment who said, "Boo-hoo, there are worse people than Lorne. Let's not pay attention to him, then shake my head." That's kind of a ridiculous comment. So you only want to pay attention to Lorne. Why aren't we paying attention to all of these guys and fucking with all of them then?
Yeah, and I mean, come on. I mean,
there are worse people than Lorne. We're aware of that.
Predators out there than Lorne.
Yeah.
people that turned up on the show that have fucking been done before. That you know that
there are people who had successfully done this shit. Lorne is not. Fuck it, I sound like a sympathiser, but I can't see him molesting a kid again. Why aren't we putting our energies into stopping people who will?
Yeah, no, I agree. I definitely agree. I think it's also... Could it also be that... I don't want to say any names, but we do know that there are people in the community who have been sexually abused. But could it also be because Lorne... I don't want to say he's not a real predator, but you know, facing someone like Molester Beck could be harder because he actually did do it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. To get to... Okay, so we're only messing with the people that it's possible to get to. But then I'm sure there's other people out there to be fucked with. That's probably not a good way to look at it, though.
Nina's just said that she was responding to J Reviews.
Sorry. I apologise, Nina, if I took that personally.
No, I think that we just clarify. I think that the point was the same. She was just responding to J Reviews because J Reviews said, "Lorne is just one of many. I think there are worse people than Lorne." And then Nina said,
maybe we were actually making the same point.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
Shit, sorry, Nina.
No, sorry, I didn't. No, it's just
we both made the same point, and then I got angry about
listen,
it.
We're not having a go at anybody. Everybody's allowed the views. We just don't. I can't quite understand why. Well, we do know why Lorne got so much shit because he's a fucking idiot. But I just think there's a lot worse people in the world than him.
Well, that kind of begs a much larger question. Because we've always said to an extent we don't want to get involved with the full community. I've got no interest in contacting these people in real life.
No, me neither.
I enjoy watching their downfall, but that's where my interest...
Me and you thought about pranking Lorne at one point, didn't we? And it never got past the initial planning stage because you just couldn't be bothered, could we?
Well, I think at the same time it was more planned to be like a one-off call that would have been quite comedic and tasteful.
Just going to be a prank call, wasn't it? We were going to pretend we were like BBC documentary producers, weren't we?
Music producers from England, and we planned that we could tell him that we could market him to the teenage girls.
Gold.
Because the age of consent is lower, we were going to say, yeah, the girls over here don't care about that, and they've seen your YouTube channel. That was our plan. I think you actually came up with that, Andy. So, but yeah, it never came to light. However, I just think this... I mean, a few calls is great fun. And calls where they do get, like to be honest, the therapist call, like, Sam was really... He said... There was a few points I criticised for, but I know I wouldn't have been able to do a better job than what he did. Sam, as the therapist, got to say everything or as much as anyone could say in the limited time he had with Lorne that they ever wanted to. And he got some proper jabs and blows in, like, make it like he wasn't soft on him either. Not like...
No, Sam's a very intelligent guy. He's probably the best person to do that, to be honest. I think I would have messed it up totally.
Well, the things he said, and there was some brilliant comedic content within that as well. And there has been some great calls with Ramona and Lorne, but there's just somewhere I'm like, this is too much. And is it ultimately going to end in something much worse, making this person who's already on the edge so much worse?
Well, I think I already said to you guys, his new RSO pick, his eyes just look so sad, and I kind of feel like he's dead on the inside.
I think he has been for a long time, though, to be honest.
Yeah, but do you remember his last RSO pick? I think you and Adam analysed it, but he was smiling in it, in the yellow shirt.
Yeah, on the t-shirt.
Oh, he had a bit of a smirk, I think.
Yeah. Like, he still had, he was still hanging in there. But now
he's still like, I'm Cheeky Lorne, don't worry about me, I'm on the sex offenders register.
I think he was smiling because he knew everyone from the Church of Cord is going to have a look at it.
Oh, perhaps 2016 he would have just got wind of the Church of COD. Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, so Andy, I think we kind of got back to Lorne, but you were going to tell us about some drama this evening.
No, it wasn't really drama. It was just that you already knew it anyway. It was just that Ember's channel was taken down. That's all. We've already talked about it, haven't we?
Okay. Well, I know both of you are. I know Andy's very aware, and Isaiah's a bit aware. But do you want to have a chat about the latest, my conversation with Robert Hocker? And feel free to analyse my reply. I felt quite petty for sending it, but I just can't help but have the last word.
Yeah, do you want to send us to the link to all the replies so we can have a good read of it?
Oh wait, he's replied to me. He's replied.
Well, that's what I mean. Can you send the link to the page so we can all have a read?
Oh, amazing. Yeah, hold on. How do I open this up? His
does anybody not know in the chat who Robert Hocker is? We did a video about him, the world's creepiest guy.
Yeah. Right, guys. Hopefully, right, I'm going to send this both to the chat in Skype, so hopefully you can both read it. Just make sure you can see all of the messages. Right, shall I put it out here as well for you guys to see? Yeah.
That's funny. It's entitled when it came up, "What a load of bollocks."
Yeah, that was my original response. It's a response to one of his blog posts. So yeah, basically, I admit I haven't been the most mature in my responses. I've probably allowed him to get under my skin more than I have, but I think I've done it with a good sense of humour and empathy to an extent, maybe in the very last sentence.
You are completely psychotic, Adam, apparently.
Ooh.
Do not blame him for your psychosis. You obviously think the way you speak. What? You say I'm a paedophile. Prove that. He talks about raping 12-year-old girls.
Yeah, I know. I read that blog post out on the video that we made. So.
You were a punk.
Yeah, I'm a punk apparently. He really doesn't like me.
Even your followers are psychotic. Oh, that's not very... Have you heard that, guys? He's calling you all psychotic.
Yeah, by the way, anyone that subscribes to me is psychotic. Well, according to Robert Hocker.
You need to be locked up and killed. Oh, locked up or killed. So he's giving you the option of incarceration or death. At least it's not an out-and-out death warrant.
Fuck that. I don't want to be locked up. Not with this face.
What's the deal with this case? Like he's saying you've got some case.
I've been referred to IC3, and then he just talks a bunch of bollocks.
Oh, he's delusional. He believed he slept with Britney Spears.
Mm-hmm.
This guy.
Yeah, but I think the way he writes about it, like he says he slept with Britney Spears, but then he also mentions in another blog that the film The Entity was written about him. And so basically what he says is he fucks or rapes, sorry, but this is his terminology, he rapes women without their knowledge. So basically I think he's writing his fantasies, but in the most twisted, fucked up way you possibly can. Like, well, it's, yeah.
Oh, so you've told him you've gone to the authorities. This is interesting.
Oh, I just couldn't resist. I'm a very petty man. I had to reply. But I thought
what would tip you over the edge to go to the authorities, Adam?
Well, no, it was a culmination of everything, really. To be honest, I mean, what he says to me doesn't really matter. But it was all the rape stuff and that. I just thought if he did.
What I write is my business. It is not illegal. What you do are high crimes. Well, what's he referring? What crimes?
Scam baiting. He thinks
He's trying to stop people from committing crimes.
He thinks because I phone up scammers, then ladies in India get raped because he gets off on that. That's why he says that.
What's IC3?
I don't know.
What is it?
Ice with a 3 instead of an E.
Oh my god.
Since you resort to committing more extensive crimes, please refer your complaints to them if they contact you. If not, reserve your complaint until questioned or interrogated by government officials regarding your crimes. I would appreciate your cooperation in these matters. Did you hear that, Adam? He would appreciate your cooperation in these matters.
Yeah, well, that was just after I told him that I felt sorry for him and that I knew everything. He doesn't deny any of it. Like, literally, I read his... I'm a fucking detective, man, I tell you. I read his blog posts, and then I just stripped it down to the things that would upset him the most, because that's the kind of cunt I am. He shouldn't fuck with me. And then at the end, I made it all nice. Such a bitch.
Well, I thought we'd have... got a bit more drama from that guy. It's ended a bit disappointingly.
Well, we got a bit serious about authorities and that kind of thing. Like, it could have gone. I'm still considering maybe contacting him and arranging a face-to-face debate. It might be the most insane and beautiful thing ever. Just me talking to a madman.
I feel like you couldn't win with him, though. It'd just be you arguing, about reality, and he would just be... Everything he would say would be a delusion of some sort. It'd be like arguing with Lorne back in the day when Ethan did an interview with him. You just can't win.
Yeah, it would. Yeah, I think those people, they're just so deluded. There's a lot of parallels you can draw between Lorne and Robert Hocker. However... Robert Hocker hasn't actually tried to kill someone or tried to fuck a kid, as far as we know.
Hasn't tried to kill someone?
Well, yeah, I mean, he makes death threats all the time. He's given me 3, not direct, but 3 at least, big signs he would quite like to see me dead. Mate.
Yeah, I think with him, though, he's just, not trying to, justify it. He's, he's quite obviously got quite pronounced and severe mental health issues, hasn't he? You know what I mean? It's quite an interesting point, that, because where do you draw the line of responsibility? Do you get what I mean? When people go to court and they claim insanity, where do you draw the line? Because really, deep down, everybody's fucking insane.
Well, this is why I had to report him, though, because what if all these blogs and posts and things are a backup for his insanity plea? When he does do something.
Oh, no, I agree with you. I'm just saying that I was trying to sort of bring up a topic of... It's quite an interesting one. Where do you draw the line? Because they even said in some of the TCAP ones... Do you remember... is it Michael Siebert saying? Do you remember it?
What, the oops
guy?
You know him, don't you, Adam?
Yeah. Oops.
Yeah. He had an accident when he was younger, didn't he? And he has a massive scar on the side of his head, and he's clearly got like a brain injury, so he's not. Do you get what I mean? It's like, I remember watching that thinking, that poor guy doesn't know what day it is, but at the end of the day, I don't see other people with that kind of injury, not everybody doing that. So it's like what they said on the show. He went oops because he knew what he was doing was wrong, so does it mean that he's not responsible for his actions? Do you get what I mean?
Well,
yeah. And in the chat log too, he's pretty cautious and scared about meeting the girl. He even talks about police, I think.
Well, it doesn't really make you a better person for talking about the police. I think what makes them worse in the chat logs is how disgustingly sexual they go.
Yeah, but I'm saying, he's aware that what he's doing is wrong, totally. He's in fear of getting caught.
Well, that doesn't absolve you.
No, not at all. That's what I was asking the question. What I'm trying to say is, where does the line get drawn between insanity and being sane and knowing what your actions are? Because obviously some people have committed crimes.
I think with Seba, that's not the best example because it's more like feeling sorry for the guy who's a little bit slow.
Oh, yeah, you might have a point. I mean, I suppose I was going to say McFetridge, but that's a totally different case, isn't it? He's more physically disabled than anything. He's not got... He uses his disability to try and invoke pity, which didn't work. I mean, I think he got 10 years, McFetridge, didn't he?
I'm just being honest.
Yeah, because he got found with child porn, didn't he? Not that many. It's funny, but out of To Catch a Predator, not that many predators got caught with child porn. I think there was only him and did that fucking... not Nathan Downer. What was the other guy who kept saying negative during the police interview?
Oh, fuck, he looked like Nathan Downhour, but I don't remember his name. His nose,
Do you know what I mean?
His nose wasn't as big, though. Yeah, but they both had the crew cut.
Yeah. But he kept...
he had a black leather jacket on.
They asked him the question, and he said, well, if anything's on there that's like child porn, it's my brother's fault.
Oh, yeah. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've just been caught trying to fuck a kid, but it's my brother who looks at the kiddie porn. Fucking cunt.
I think that's Rob Klein.
Right, it
yes.
is.
Well done, pal. Well done.
Yeah.
I've got a question for you guys. Do you think any of the predators from the show could have killed the decoy down the track?
What a great question. I'm thinking, so I'm going to let Adam... What do you think, mate?
I'm going to say... maybe.
No, I was not talking to you. I was talking to Isaiah.
Oh, me? Oh, Adam, you can speak if you want, but if you want. So you can go ahead.
Well, no, I was just going to say... I don't know if they would. There's some that are pretty dark fuckers, but none of them had murder raps from previously, did they?
No.
And I think that kind of thing, I don't think the people that caught on there would have been capable of murder, molesting children, obviously, which in my eyes is probably worse depending on the circumstances of the murder.
Yeah, I agree. I don't necessarily think that anybody... I can't think of anybody that stands out and I would say, yes, they would have killed someone. I just don't. What do you think, Isaiah?
Look, I think Todd Spikes may have murdered the child because he's a guy who's a prominent figure in society. I don't know if he was a policeman at the time, but he was someone...
He was.
He was, so he was someone who couldn't really...
He'd left the cops to join like a family business, then he went back in the cops and he just joined another police force. So he was a serving police officer at the time it happened.
Well, do you know what they found in his trunk?
Loads of weaponry, but I mean, the thing is, mate, does that necessarily mean that he planned to use it there? A lot of predators that were caught had weaponry in the cars.
Well, I'm pretty sure they also found, like, a tarp, cable ties, duct tape.
Yeah.
But they found, like, a kill kit nearly, so it was pretty fucked up.
He never got charged with... The thing is, he did have a lot of disturbing things in there, but he never got charged with anything close to the... to what may be, like, attempt murder. I mean, you'd be fucking hard pushed to say attempt murder, but there was never any additional charges, as I understand it.
You'd be really gutted if, like, you did do it and you were making drapes for your friend Rachel, and you took the box out in the rain, and the D and one of the R's washed off, and then the police came out and were like, "What the fuck is this box?" And then there's all curtains in it. Be fucked.
Good point.
Yeah, no, good point, Andy.
Well, yeah, anyway. don't need to talk about Rachel's rape kit anymore. It's gone quite silent.
Another question I think I asked you guys was whether Lorne preferred Casey Mauro or the 12-year-old decoy, and I think I've come to a conclusion with that question because of one of the recent calls. And it's Lorne saying he wants nobody else but Ramona, even if it was, Ember, even if there was another girl in Maine that was attractive. He just wants Ramona. And I think if Kayla walked out and Casey Moreau turned out to be, the cousin or something, he would have still gone with the 12-year-old Kayla because he had that connection. He had that false love, kind of like he has for Ramona. Do you kind of get what I'm saying?
Maybe, like, you think, yeah. Actually, no, yeah, he would, because if there was no one else there, because in his mind, although he doesn't really understand it, he thinks he's some kind of romantic. So if there was no repercussions and he had the choice between Kayla and Casey Moreau, he would have gone with Kayla. Yeah, I have no doubt about that.
Yeah. Probably analysing it on my behalf.
That's all right. I don't know. With Lorne, he's such a fucking weird person. It would be if at the end of all this trolling, he fucking walked away understanding that he does things wrong, then I would see the point to everything, and I'd be like, all right, yeah. I'm just worried it's not going to turn out like that.
Do we ever think that Lorne's going to have a real relationship before he dies?
Oh.
Jesus.
I don't think he's got many years left, to be honest. He looks like someone who's going to die soon to me.
I don't think he's that fucking bad. I wouldn't say he's healthy, but he's not. He doesn't have any pronounced medical issues as far as we know. No, I don't agree. I think he's got a few years left in him. But, I mean, someone made a point on the video that I made today and said that they don't believe Lorne will ever be in a relationship because no one would have him. But Kevin Westerbeck's in a relationship, as far as I know, what Ember told me.
Yeah.
And I know Ember believed that was true. I don't have any more information on that, but the point is, there are people out there that will go with fucking anybody. Just like, they're just that.
Just fucking slags.
Yeah, because women are dirty, isn't that right, Adam?
Yeah. Well, there will be a woman out there who would have sex with Lorne. Like I said, though, it'll be some old, one-eyed, buck-toothed, plastic-hipped.
Runs Rampant was just saying that blow-up dolls, did blow-up dolls count? Unfortunately, mate, Lorne, it'd have to be a living, breathing human. No animals.
Have you guys
no
seen... No
blow-up dolls, not even an alien, or a clone, or some kind of android. It'd have to be a human. Male, a human male. Female, sorry.
Lorne...
Well, no, we'd go with male. If decided to
you
switch
think
sides,
Lorne could be happy with a man?
What?
Do you think Lorne could be happy with a man?
Nah, he's never displayed any homosexual tendencies.
That was pretty funny.
Unfortunately.
That was pretty funny on the call, though, when they were talking about Arnold eating his arsehole. And look, the way the answer she gives to it is so, like, weird. Like, it's not nonchalant or I don't know how else to describe it, but, like he takes it so seriously. Like, oh, was Arnold upset that you didn't let him eat your arse out? And he's like, yeah, he was a bit depressed. It's like, what the fuck?
And apparently Arnold asked Roy as well.
Yeah, well, apparently didn't. From what I picked up from that, Lorne was like, well, it went a bit further with Roy. And then he was quite upset because then Roy said, "No, I'm not gay," and they didn't press on that. That kind of wound me up because that's like, so what did he do? Like start sucking Roy off, and then Roy was like, "Oh, actually, not down for this."
I think Roy went along with it. He thought he was bullshitting, and Roy was just saying, "Yeah, no worries, mate, we'll fuck." And then I think Roy realised he was telling the truth, and he actually wanted to.
Yeah, but what I want to know is how far did Roy and Arnold get before he realised Arnold was telling the truth? Because I mean, if you get to the point where someone's asking to eat your ass out, it's normally.
I think Julia's right in the chat. I think Lorne is actually homophobic. He can't wrap his head around it. No pun intended.
Actually, I've got a bit of juicy information because Adam hadn't heard this. Do you remember the thing I was telling you last night, Adam, about the gay porno?
The one we watched. You were making it sound a bit like we watched one together. No,
you watched one together, Adam. You don't remember?
We did have a Skype date, didn't we, Andy? We should disclose that. Andy and I watched a film together.
We did have a Skype date, yes.
But yeah, it was not gay. It was just.
Yeah, Andy. Have you heard about the gay porno story, Andy?
I haven't, mate.
Oh, if you're willing to disclose it, tell Andy the story.
Well, I've listened to the video. So Ember was in on the call, Ramona was, but it's not up anymore, and it was up for like maybe half a day, so not many people heard it. But so what I gathered was Lorne's stepfather. I don't know what age, but I kind of feel like Lorne was maybe in his late teens, early 20s. But Lorne's stepfather came into the room and said, "Do you want to watch a movie?" And Lorne's like, "Okay." So they put on a movie, and Lorne's sitting there with his stepdad, and it was a gay porno. And Lorne was deeply affected by it. He goes on to it today as one of the most disgusting things that he ever witnessed.
It would be pretty fucked up, to be honest.
Why would his stepdad watch that?
With your
stepson? I don't know. Fucked up. And they didn't press it either. They didn't go into any more detail.
So you actually heard this? For sure. It's not stuff that's been relayed.
100% heard it. Even ask Ember.
Jesus.
Oh, so that's something that we've heard directly from Lorne?
Yep, Lorne told the story, and he kind of was hinting at that. That's why he's so homophobic, because you know, he was just so pissed off at the situation. I don't know if the stepdad was trying to press something or trying to implant and seed these ideas into Lorne's mind, but I don't know how old Lorne was when this happened.
The thing, it seems to us really fucked up, I suppose, but we're all under the rule of the Queen, and I don't know what goes on in these trailer parks. Maybe, you know, like we might go to the movies and rent fucking Avatar, but they might go to the movies and rent Backdoor Benders 7. Maybe that's just what they do. We shouldn't judge people, but it's pretty fucked up.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
But yeah, so I don't know. It doesn't sound like trailer park life is a barrel of tits.
I'm more interested to know why fucking Lorne's stepdad wanted to watch a gay porno with his stepson.
Well, you can only really draw one conclusion from that, can't you, if you're being serious?
Yeah, and, you know, is there more stories dating back? Is there more issues in Lorne's backstory that we're aware of, is the point I suppose I'm getting at. Apart from that, you know, if his stepdad's all fucked up, so it's all his stepdad's fault. Well, you know what? You know what wouldn't surprise me if there's some fucking deep dark issue from Lorne's past that would explain everything, but he insists on blaming mac and cheese and deviled eggs instead. Do you know what I mean? That'd just sum that motherfucker up, wouldn't it?
With Lorne, it would turn out to be something like he was offered some pussy with the food. His brother's like, "Oh, I've got a niece." That would be his niece. His brother's like, oh, I've got some flange here for you. And his sister's like, I'll come around here for the... Wait, what was his sister making? She was making the mac and cheese now.
I thought it was the sister with the devil's eggs, but...
Right, so she's like, oh, come around for the devil's eggs, and then you can be a devil with the neighbour Susie. And Lorne's like, oh, yeah, I'm going to be getting pussy all over town. And then he gets there, and they're like, no, fuck off. You can't have devil's eggs or any pussy.
So
well,
funny,
in the new call, they actually, Lorne discloses that she actually made it, but she just couldn't be bothered dishing it up
to put it on a plate. That was the phrasing Ramona used. She was like, well, she had made the mac and cheese, or he had made the mac and cheese, but they couldn't be bothered to put it on a plate for Lorne. It's like, nah, fuck it. That's too much hassle. You know, we've all got our place of mac and cheese. Oh, would you want to make one more for Lorne? No, fuck him.
Comedy gold.
Right. Did we have any other things we would like to touch upon this evening?
Touch upon?
Yeah. Yeah, not any literal arseholes though.
All sorts of stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
Alright. What your subjects
I watched the new episode of Black Mirror. Have you, well, not new, but one I've not seen before. Have you seen that before, mate?
Isaiah?
So I'm gonna start watching it in the uni break. So in about 2 weeks, I'm gonna start.
Oh man, you need to see it. Which episode did you watch, Andy?
I didn't enjoy it as much as the other ones, but I did enjoy it. It was the Waldo one.
Yeah, no, I think everyone felt that way. It's not one of the strongest episodes, but I think after the first few, you've got such a high expectation for it.
Yeah, that's very true. I did enjoy it, though. I do like that it portrayed humans as fucking idiots. The way that everybody rallied around this ridiculous cartoon just because it could come out with crude comments. You know,
well, it's almost a precursor to Trump to an extent. You could sort of a foreshadowing.
Well, I made pro-Trump comments the other week, which didn't go went down like a lead balloon with some people.
We're entitled to our opinions.
Sorry?
We're entitled to our opinions.
Well, exactly. No need to take things personally, but yeah, I mean, it just sort of heightened how ridiculous politics are. I think that was the idea behind it.
Well, and politicians are the worst people in the world.
As I have said, yes.
According to your video earlier. And I think there's people who could be more monsters than some politicians. Well, in fact, that's why you should watch The Night Manager, because that covers that subject very well. For something that is a rather kind of James Bond template, it kind of covers the politics of how people, from Hugh Laurie's side, it's very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to watch the next episode of Black Mirror last night, but I got interrupted, so I didn't watch it. So I've still got all of season 3 and the last episode of season 2 to watch, the Christmas special. I've not seen that yet.
Christmas special is fucking amazing.
Is it brilliant?
I really liked it, but it had 2 actors I really enjoyed it. I'd never seen an episode of Mad Men before, but it's got John Hamm in it, and he's fantastic in it. And it's also got Rafe Spall, Timothy Spall's son. I don't know if you know him. He was in Shaun of the Dead.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah,
geezer.
Yeah.
Oh no, yeah.
You got red on you, that guy.
Yeah.
He was also in like Adulthood and Kidulthood.
Right. Yeah. You know, I suppose Trump's that controversial. He even has his own section on Sky News on the Sky News app. Right, usually you have top stories: UK, Brexit, world, business, science and tech, politics, entertainment. Trump's got his own section.
Yeah, well, He is a bit of a knob. He's fucking quite a lot of things up, to be honest. But I don't really know.
No, I mean, I don't know. There's no point in me rambling on about it because I don't know enough about American politics to make any kind of profound judgment. I just thought it was refreshing that there was a president who made controversial decisions and stood by it, because there are too many fucking pussies in this world that won't.
That's fine to do as long as those decisions are correct. I think it's recently he's kind of crossed the line, like he said some kind of quite racist stuff. I don't know. I think it's gone over the border of what's kind of, that's what everyone's thinking, but too afraid to say, and into let's just shock people. But this is just my very, very outsider's perspective on what I've picked up. I don't take much interest in politics. I should.
No, I'm the same. I don't. I don't know enough about it, and it doesn't. I can't change anything, and I don't have any interest in becoming a politician. So, is there really any point me? And I fucking hate that when you're like in a bar or something, and someone insists on talking about politics to you, and you're just like, oh God, just leave me alone. I'm not interested. It's everybody has to have an opinion, don't they?
Mm.
Which is all right as long as you don't take it too far and don't get personal.
I think it's fine to have your own opinions, and it's good to be strongly opinionated about them, as long as you're willing to listen to other people's opinions.
Yeah, not get fucking too personal if it's not something you want to wear, So is there anything else we want to chat about? We've been on for a
while. No, I kind of...
I didn't want to harp on about it too much, but I really recommend you guys watch Capturing the Freedmans.
Oh shit, you told me to do this.
You sent me a link to that, didn't you?
Right.
Yeah, I've been meaning to get you guys to watch it. I think you guys will really enjoy it. It's a really good documentary.
I will get round to that, and if you want to, we can stream about it on any one of our channels. I'd be quite interested to do that. I watched your video, Isaiah, about the really young kid.
I made a video on it. I think I sent it to you guys. I'm not sure if you've watched it yet, but it's a huge case currently going on in Australia. He's been missing for 2.5 years or something. William Tyrrell. Have you heard about him, Andy or Adam?
No, I haven't.
I watched both of your videos about him. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of an unreal case. The videos are unlisted on my channel, so I might have to post.
Shit, I didn't just put my foot in it by mentioning it. Did I?
No. Yeah. No, I was just gonna. I thought I'd maybe let you in on some of the facts before you watch the video, Andy. But so basically, this boy a couple of years ago went missing, and there's just so much to talk about in regards to it. And quite recently, New South Wales put out a $1 million reward. Anyone's got any information on him, but just the case itself is fucked up. He went missing in a little town called Kendall. So kind of like Stanley Kendall, that's Stanley's last name, the Predator. And the neighbouring town is called Lorne. So both the towns have some relation to Catch a Predator. And I just found that absolutely, I was gobsmacked by that alone. Unrelated to the case though, but
it's pretty spooky though.
Yeah, Lorne and Lorne Road runs through Kendall, near where he went missing. So it's fucking weird. Jesus. But the case itself, the kid goes missing. I delve into it a lot more. So you've got the link, Andy, but I'll send it again and I'll post it in the description of my latest video. But so he goes missing. And one of the family members of a registered sex offender in the area nearby feels compelled to give information to the police. And she says, well, our uncle, he's a registered sex offender. And on the morning he went missing, this sex offender met up with another sex offender. So already kind of red lights are blinking, and police go and investigate these two guys, and they say, no, we didn't meet up at all. So already someone's lying, the family or the two sex offenders. And little did they know at the time, but the mum saw two cars parked outside the house, a green sedan and a white station wagon. And these two cars matched the exact same cars these two sex offenders drive. But their alibi was that one of them was walking in the woods looking for scrap metal, and the other one was just at home. And it's absolutely unreal. Like, there's also a story about a guy came in not long before who was fixing the washing machine, maybe a week before, and it was found out that he's kind of fled Victoria because he was faced with a bunch of child molestation charges, and he had to move away from Victoria nearby, and the fact that there's just 3 pedophiles already involved in this case, and none of them are involved, directly in his disappearance. It's just unreal. And they're just on the brink of breaking a huge child sex ring in the area nearby. And it's, I don't want to go into it too much. I've already gone into it too much, guys, but I highly recommend you watch it.
Sounds I don't think we couldn't watch it after what you've just said.
Well, I've seen your videos on it, but the one thing I can get out of my head is, like, because it's such a quiet area, surely the parents were somehow involved. Maybe that's a very skeptical view to have, although I just don't see, because he only wandered out for a second, wasn't he? His sister was inside, his mum was inside.
Yeah, no, that's always a possibility. I don't think I really talked about that. There's a really good, they actually made a documentary kind of on it. It's on YouTube, goes for about an hour. That's also a really good, piece of information about him. But yeah, the case is just, unreal.
All right, well, guys, I think, because I'm quite drunk and tired now.
You're always drunk.
I'm always drunk. Well, no, I've drunk a bottle of wine. I had a reason for drinking some wine tonight. We had a terrorist attack. That's my excuse. Now I'm going to be drunk even more. Too soon, maybe. Right, anyway. Guys, thanks so much for joining me, Andy and Isaiah.
Yeah, cheers, mate.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah, we will hopefully do this again very soon. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I certainly did. The lawn chat was interesting. I've certainly got some ammunition for the summit on Saturday, I suppose. Ammunition sounds too attacking. I've got some...
Oh, should we just mention to people that didn't hear initially that you're taking part in the lawn ethics debate on Saturday night?
Yeah, that's right. On Saturday on Sam Pendleton's channel, I will be in the lawn ethics debate, but also representing the views of Andrew Burkett, as always, because he's the lawnographer in chief outside of the United States, I believe, now.
That's a bizarre title to have if it's true. Jesus Christ.
I think it probably
I hope they don't
is.
put that on any kind of memorial, you know what I mean?
On your gravestone.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, well, I'm looking forward to it. I might I'll be in the pub somewhere, so I might be able to join in on the live chat, but I won't be able to listen to it.
Don't worry. I'll hold our collective end up. And yeah, it was really nice to have you on for the first time, Isaiah. But if I said it right, there's a lot of I's and A's in your name. So yeah, thanks so much everyone in the chat for joining us. I hope you enjoyed yourselves, and yeah, take care everyone.